to tell the entire story. I just realised I haven't. So I had planned to go from Athens to Montenegro. Originally, I was thinking Croatia, but I really like to stop at Montenegro on the way. Thought now that I'm off the islands and not just ferrying everywhere, I can use the Ural pass. You know, that really expensive train pass, which means I can just take any train and travel my way around Europe and like freely. Well, I can't. They don't. Well, one, the route is just not there on the Ural app at all. But if you, like, I did a lot of research, and they said like some of them you can still just show your pass, but you have to buy the ticket like in person. So I guess I'll just go to some train stations. It'll be fine. Trying to work out the route, I would have to get a train from Athens to one of the other towns on the other side of Greece, and then there into Serbia, and then from there to Montenegro, and then figure out my accommodation from there. How's it? You can do that. It's cheaper than flight, you know, because it's included. But then I would have to buy every train ticket as I get there and hope, one, not even sure that there's a train schedule because I can't find it online. I have to go to the place to make sure that I'm going the right way, and can get on a train, and then hope that they accept the Euro pass. If not, it'd be a very expensive route, which would take me, so the first one, just in Greece, there's no fast rail, so I don't know how I got the Eurostar. Like, I swear I was on a train for like an hour and I was from Paris to London in like an hour. This take me just from one little end of Greece to the other end, the mainland, not even the other end, just like 6 hours, just casual 6 hours. And then to Serbia, that would be a 14-hour overnight train. And then from there, that was like another... another like 9 or so hours, without a guarantee that I'd actually be able to get on those trains. I can't book tickets and can't actually see the timetable. So could have potentially, especially knowing my luck, been stuck in Serbia, you know. So I wasn't completely set on that. However, the other option, which apparently is the cheapest and easiest option, was a flight, 1 hour flight from Athens to the main city in Montenegro. Booked it the day of, so not ideal for the price, but I honestly, like, let's be real, it would not have gone well the other way. It would not. And the more research I get into it, and it's like, you'd have to take buses because these timetables aren't any out. I'm like, what? I'd end up paying just as much for a bus than I would for the flight, and the flight's taking me an hour and a half. And then I go back in time, like, because of the time zones. So I'm really there only like half an hour later than when I left. So that was the obvious decision. However, even that wasn't easy because it's me. So I get on my train, and actually finally, oh my gosh, it was available on Google Maps. Athens had trains back on Google Maps, so I can figure out my route. Helped me to an extent until it didn't, and there was all these changes happening and I wasn't aware because I'm watching my stops and I'm checking with the map that's there, and I'm going anyway, so like I'm watching my stops and I'm watching it on the phone, and then the map that they've got in the train, and then the signs outside, and I'm like, yep, all right, I've got 4 stops to get like left. And then suddenly all the people with the bags and just everyone just gets off the train, and I was like, oh, am I going on with I'm pretty sure I should be following the crowd of people with the other like suitcases. Like they seem to be going to the airport, like context clues. So they all get off, and then I just start, and I'm just like checking and going, what's going on? And then I look out, and there's like a lady just who was waiting for the next train on the platform, like through the windows, going, And I'm like, oh, okay. So I start packing up my backpack and my things, and I start trying to make my way off, and then the door shut on me, and I was like, uh-oh, oopsie daisies. And then the train moves, and I was like, oh, okay, it must be fine. I must be still going. Maybe those people just had something. Like, maybe they don't know something I don't. They did. They did. And then then the train goes pitch black. And I can just see outside is just like the wall. And I'm like, uh-oh, spaghetti-o. I'm in a train. So, and then the train starts moving again. It gets to another stop. And then I go to get off at that stop. So I was like, oh, something's going wrong here. Or like ask someone, because obviously something isn't right. And then there's a guy, and he comes up like, no, stay. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm staying. And then the train starts going backwards. I'm like, oh no. So then I get off, and then the guy, who obviously is just like the one train guy, is like yelling at me in Greek, and I'm going, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. And he's just yelling at me in really broken English then when I was like, just English. And then he's like, run. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run. So then I'm trying to run with my bags to get on. He's like, other side. So then we had to just change trains, but like nothing told me that for some reason. So then I had to get on, the other side. So I kept going the direction of the airport. Anyway, then he's like, run! And then he just takes my bag and starts running with me. I'm like, oh, you're so lovely. So then we're just like running together. I get on the train, and then I just figured, and then he just stopped. He's like, there you go. And I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. And he's like, and then I just waited on that train for a minute, and then I was right next to the lady who told me to come off, like the lady from the platform before. And she went to the other friend. She was like, oh, yes. And then I could tell they was being Greek, but they're like, that's the girl from the train before. Anyway, so then I got to the airport. Oh my god, dogs. Doggies. Oh my god. So then I get to the airport, taking my bags, gonna go check in. Trying to translate Greek, which is not easy because it's a whole nother alphabet. And so then I go and print my boarding pass and my bag tag, but then the bag tag doesn't print. Because it's me. Because, like, why would it do that? Why would it do what it's supposed to do? Everyone else's prints, not mine. So then I went to, I tried again at one of the other little booths that I'd seen someone take a thing out. I'm like, well, maybe mine just ran out, it's okay. And then it was like, no, you've already printed your bag tag. Can't do it. And it was yelling at me in Greek. And I was like, okay. So then I went and asked them, and they're like, just go the line. They'll print it for you. I'm like, oh, wonderful. So then I waited in the line for a while, made my way up, went to go weigh my bags, and they're like, you don't have a bag tag. And I was like, yeah, no, so that's the thing. The machine didn't print it for me. I was told that you were able to print it. No, you've got to go over to there. So then I went out of that line, went into another line, waited there. This is the reason now that I get to things early, because I've never done that before, because things just always go wrong. Anyway, I waited in that line for a bit, and then they told me that they couldn't print it either, and I had to go to another line. I was like, okay, I got time. Then I went to that, anyway, and then they printed it, and it was all good. And then I was still 2 hours early, just hung around for a while, waited at my gate. Then it was time for boarding. I got a notification that it was time for boarding, so I line up for boarding, and I get to boarding, and it's not the correct plane. And I'm like, oh, shucks. Here we go again. So I was like, hi, it says here that I need to be at this gate, but this isn't the right plane, this isn't going to Montenegro. And they're like, no, you need to get to gate 22 on the other side of the airport. So then I'm rushing to the other side of the airport going, oh my god, I'm going to miss check-in now. I've been waiting, I'm going to miss boarding. And then they're like, oh no, we're not checking in yet. And then there was an hour delay. So then I get into the Montenegro airport, super small. I think it's called Podrica. It was super quick getting through everything. The Greek airport was the first airport that I haven't been pulled up for customs, so that was cool. I enjoyed that. Yeah, got straight through, came out, and the buses weren't available. Put on a shirt because there are some men doing men things with their eyeballs, and they don't feel comfortable. Shout out Ash for letting me borrow this shirt. I don't know if you know I have it, but thanks. Anyway, at this really dodgy train station, going to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, lovely marble, this is much nicer. This is the toilet. There's no way. There's no way. No, surely not. Not. That can't be real. That can't be real. And yes, I checked. It definitely was the women's toilet. Actually, I don't need to pee that long. I can wait 2 hours, surely. I'm on the train. It's taking a while, but we're en route. Alright, I finally made it to my hostel in Bar, Montenegro. Had to take the train. It was a very long train. And then when I finally got there, it's like, I booked this hostel because it's like super close to the train station. So I said, but it's still like 15-minute walk, which with suitcases and with a slowly crippling suitcase, so much longer. So then there was taxis and they're like, oh, and I was like, literally like 4-minute drive, 3 minutes on maps, you know? And he was like, oh, 10 euro. And I was like, sir. And he was like, 8. And I was like, it's all good, I'll just walk, thank you. And he goes, 6. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't actually know how much cash I have, so let me have a look. All the cash I had was 4 euros and a couple of cents. And he was like, that should be enough. And I was like, yeah, and you're gonna charge me 10 euros. Anyway, so we take it, and then it missed like the turn to get there. It was super confusing. It was not like an actual road. So then he had to do a few laps. So I'm really glad I'd already paid and I wasn't like on the clock, because he just kept going like around. It was really confusing. And then I got there and I thought I saw the building, because there's a pink building that looked just like the one in the pictures. I didn't have any reception. So I went over and I'm like, hold on, this kind of just looks like someone's house. And then I had these other ladies that were there. There was like a mum and then a younger, probably about my age. And the younger girl spoke more English, and she was like, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, actually. And like, can you show me pictures? And I'm like, no, I don't have any reception, but this is where it's meant to be. Anyway, so then we just followed this random road, and she was like, oh, can I help you carry your bags? And I was like, no, like, that's completely okay. And she's like, no, I'll help you. And I was like, so she like carried my suitcase with me, so sweet, down the ditches. And then I found the hostel, and then I came in and I was like, oh, he was like, oh, welcome. And I was like, hi, a bit tricky to find. He was like, no, like, you must get that a lot. He was like, no, it's not. And I kind of get offended, because he's like, did you not get the message? Because it's like an automated message, but apparently that's only when you book it with booking.com or something. So I didn't get the message of how to get here easier. But anyway, he was fantastic. We just sat down for like 20 minutes and he gave me a full map, list of everywhere to go, what to do, how to get there, proper directions, like awesome. And he was like, look, you know, you're only here for the 2 days, so I've got to give you just the best. I won't give you the other ones, there's so much more, but I won't give you them. I'll just give you, and it's so lovely. And I was like, oh, I really wanted to go to this lake. And he goes, okay. So then he's giving me all the directions, how to get there, and the names of the bus stations and recommendations of like wineries, and like, so sweet. Anyway, so I'm here now. Nice hostel room, and then one other person here so far, so that's the bathroom too. This is the outside of the hostel, and I had to come back through, like, that's the main road up there, and there wasn't a turn or a street or anything. And through here, that lovely girl helped me carry my bag, what a sweetheart, through like under some creepy bridge. Like, it just did not seem like that somewhere there's a road. Morning. It is my first day in Montenegro, and I've just taken the train from near where I'm staying in Bar to Verpazar, which is near Lake Skadar. So that's what I'm on the hunt to see today. I'm gonna go for a little bit of an explore up in all the hills and through the lake. I'll probably pay for a little like kayak or boat tour. Go through the lake. It's going to be gorgeous. It's one of the reasons, like main reasons that I stopped here. The issue in Montenegro is that I'm not having any cell reception at the moment. So I've downloaded the map while I had Wi-Fi, but it's still making life a little bit tricky. So we'll see how we go. So I'm following the old school map route, and it's just taken me, you know, across the highway, but there's like no path or anything, so that's a little bit unsafe. So I'm on like the railway tracks instead, which feels really wrong. It feels like in, you know, like in apocalypse or like zombie movies, and it's just like everything's barren and abandoned, so they just walk along the railway line. That's what it's giving right now. Alright, we've gone off the tracks and are heading hopefully towards the national park. Like a trail. I got to the main area, and there's a whole bunch of like different boat tours you can do. So I just went down comparing them all. It was really awkward. They're all like right next to each other. I'm like, thank you. I'll just go have a look at the other one. They're like, it's the same thing. And I'm like, sorry, I'm just gonna look. And they're all the same thing. So they were right. But I ended up just picking one. It's about 20 euros. It takes you for about 2 hours around the lake, past like the old fortress and monastery, with the lily pads, so it should be really pretty. Some of them you can stop and swim, so hopefully I'll do that. And it's like refreshments included, and this area is known for the wine, so there's always winery tours. So there's a little kitten, there's a little stray kitten. I love when I see the little ones. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Then I just had some time to kill, so just walking around a few of the markets. Anyway, there was one lady, and she had all her homemade like syrups and wines and like everything, like distilled. And so then she was like, try, and then she didn't speak any English, and I was like, English? No. And then just kept speaking to me in Montenegrin? Croatian? I'm not sure what language they speak here. But she just kept like force feeding me like tasters of things. Like she literally stuck it in my mouth. And some of them were actually really yummy. And then she gave me like a sip of this distilled alcohol. She was like, oh. I was like, goodness. Anyway, I ended up buying something from her just because I felt really bad, and it was like the only homemade stuff. So I just spent like $6 Australian on this tiny thing of cherry syrup, but it's yummy. Kitten update. There's about 4 of them. Oh, stop it. Hi, kitties. Hello. Here's Mummy. Babies. One's chilling out. Hi, come here. Stop it, this one's climbed the tree. You're so clever. Look at you. How'd you get up there? Hi. There's so many more dogs in Montenegro. Oh, stop it. Hi. 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 Oh, you're so vicious. So we're on the boat cruise. We just stopped at a bit of the slides, the lily pads,
We just stopped for a swim, so that was really nice. It was really funny. The UK girls that are here, they were really nervous about it getting cold, and I'm like, yeah, literally, you swim in the UK. Are you aware that it's like 5-degree water when you're swimming in it? They're like, yeah, you're right. And it was fine. So yeah, that was really nice. Now we're just cruising back. So our beautiful tour guide's got the little boy steering the boat, and he just directs him and he points which way, and then he's turning the boat. It's so cute. It's just gorgeous here, the lily pads, all the bird life, just look at that. Stunning. Yeah, I'm just chilling by one of the beaches. I went past all the busy spots and found a little bit more of a secluded one with a little bit of a swim. Yeah. So I went and bought myself a hat that I absolutely do not need, and is super impractical, especially considering my luggage is already filled to the brim. But I mean, look how cute it is. So I leave bar today, but I really wanted to get to the old town, which is like, you know, the historic old town, and there's like a waterfall as well you can get to. So I woke up nice and early, walked down to the bus station to get the bus there, bought the ticket. Apparently it's meant to go every like 30 minutes and cost 50 cents. Then she charged me $3.50, and then the buses weren't coming, and I kept checking, and every bus I asked, they're like, no, it's not going there. And I went back to her and I was like, is it definitely station 2? She's like, yes. So I waited for like an hour, and then I asked someone else, and she was like, no Starrybar. And then no one speaks English. So I'm trying to like communicate, I'm trying to use Google Translate, but then it doesn't come up in Montenegro, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, no, you have to go to the other one. The other bus station is what I figured out, is what they were saying. But I was like, okay, well, can I have my like $3.50 back, like euros? And they just like wouldn't understand. I was like, and they're just yelling at me. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I waited around for an hour, and I've just left to try and find the other bus station to get there. I went to the other bus station. They told me to go to this bus stop. The bus stop literally says to Starrybar every 30 minutes. I've been here an hour. Every bus that comes past, I go, is this going to Starrybar, Old Town? And they're like, no, 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay. So no, wait. About 20 minutes later, I'm about to give up. Another bus comes by, and I'm like, awesome. It's going to Starrybar. It literally says Starrybar on the bus. They go, no, 10 minutes. I'm like, I have been here an hour. I should have just walked, and now it's really hot because I've just been waiting around for 2 hours. So I don't really know what to do. Like, because as soon as I start walking, like, it's an hour walk. So I could do it, and I could have. But if I start walking, I'm going to see the buses go past and go, man. And I have to do a hike later, so I'll wait another 10. Alright, that's the 4th bus that stopped and gone. No, next bus. Next bus is Starrybar. So I think at this point I'm gonna walk. Whew! I made it. Look at that. So I'm at the fortress. It was about €5 to get in, but wow. It is just stunning. Like, childhood Hannah frothing this. Like, there was probably dragons attacking this wall. But yeah, amazing. So after years of hoping that any old building I go to will have a secret passageway, I have found one. Secret passageway. Look. It's even like, oh, an ancient old ladder. Look. Alright, there's not much down there, but still I feel like it's probably not worth going down the dodgy old ladder for a little bit of cave, only because my mum watches this. Love you, mum. So this is pretty much like, it's a bit of a shrine, but it's got pieces of building, like architecture, stone from like 15 BC, like so. So this is the citadel, the main city. Like down there was where all the lower class people lived. This, as we get higher, is where the 1%. No one's getting through those walls. Holy smokes. Oh, that's stunning. Yeah, I just stopped at a little cafe, changed into my swimmers, and had some lunch, and I'm headed for a bit of a hike up to the waterfall. So I'm following the limited instructions of my hostel host. First of all, wow. So I hiked up, and there's kind of like a road, so I followed that up the mountain, and then he said turn right where the road ends. So, but there was a few options where to turn right. So, you know, we picked one, and we're gonna hope for the best. We're at another crossroads. Gonna keep going right. I can hear water down there, so I was wrong. So we're trying this one now. That was amazing. So beautiful. I'm still like kind of shivering. My body's in a bit of shock because it was like negative degrees, but oh, gorgeous and so fresh. How cool is this little water station from the fresh spring water, and it's so cold and so good.